Okay, so back to the PPTQ. Man, this deck does not treat me kindly today. Yeah, this looks like a mulligan as well. I mean, a blue source makes it pretty alright. But I'm on the play, so it's likely 45% blue source once again. How many other good cards that I can draw do I have? Basically just white 2-drops, so Snaphorn, Sentry, Famished Paladin, Skyblade of the Legion are like my other good draws. So I have like 11 outs in my deck to make this draw good. But even then I do need a third land pretty quickly when I cast a 2-drop. Artificer's Assistant. I'm not... Can you send me the card text? I'm not certain what that is. Just a short description. I have looked over the spoiler a little bit, but I haven't fully grasped all of the cards yet. Okay, I think I'll mulligan, but it's close. Okay, this one is a definite keep. And pretty nice curve. A flying 2-drop into a raid creature is pretty much what I want out of my deck. Second Squire's Devotion, nope. They do have diminishing returns. And also I need my third land for this curve to be good. Birdie. Yeah, I don't know. Seems a little bit low impact. But maybe it has a chance. Never say never. So far I've been very happy with the green birds. So I'm not sure if a bird that doesn't tap for mana can ever make the cut for me. But yeah, you do have a bunch of artifacts that trigger that effect. But even like, how much scry do you need to get out of it for it to be worth it? No, they played around my raid. Damn baffling end. Probably just have to run this out and jam a Squire's Devotion. But that's also weak to my opponent's bounce spells. Nah. No, I'll hold on to it and try to cast my 4-drop and then trigger the raid. Because most of the 3-drops that my opponent can have here already make it bad for my 2/2 to attack into it. Like Sailor of Means Follow Up. There's a bunch of 2/3s in white as well. Exultant Sky Marcher. And like, okay, that one I guess doesn't count. That one it would have been good. But yeah, Sailor of Means already enables my raid. Couldn't anticipate my opponent casting one of the weaker black 2-drops when they hadn't shown me any black mana yet. Maybe I even get the 1 damage in here, because +2/+2 is something that white has a lot of. That punishes my opponent pretty severely for blocking. Though that RIX holders punishes them, I mean, then it doesn't make a big difference whether they block or not, but it's one of the main blue comments that I could have here that could make me attack, so that is a reason for my opponent to be slightly less suspicious. But yeah, it would have been insane for me to have like Moment of Triumph here. I think I do want to get this Voracious Vampire off of the board, even though I'm giving up on my treasure. I take less damage this way, and I get my opponent further away from ascending, because the 5/5 Dust Charger is pretty difficult for me to deal with. Best case, they play like a Mark of the Vampire here or something, so that my Crashing Tide gets full value. do want to get the squire's devotion down as quickly as possible so that I can start racing my opponent. But it's very awkward if I play it into Moment of Craving on this Stormfleet Spy. Also, then it gets outclassed on the board pretty quickly. So I think I likely just run out my Sanguine Glorifier for no value, and then next turn I hope to go Crashing Tide into Squire's Devotion to something similar. Yeah, my deck is just so underwhelming. I could see myself O2 dropping, even though my opponent's deck also doesn't look too appealing. I mean, the cards they cast look all reasonable, but like their mana base looks like a mess, and splashing Baffling End is not a great sign. Okay, guess I do have a new target for Crashing Tide. That does offer me some value. They're at 8 permanents though, so if they go land plus creature, then this starts becoming a 5/5, which is also not that great for me. Not sure what they would go into the tank over. Spellpierce doesn't even disrupt me here. And I think it's the only card that they can really have. Third Dive Down. Third Crashing Tide. Yeah, like Dive Down doesn't do anything either. Man. Land here would have been sick, so that I can like Crashing Tide their Dust Charger or get my Squire's Devotion online. No, that adds 2 permanents as well. Yeah, huge trouble. My deck just has very few ways of dealing with the 5/5 as well, like just 2 Water Knots and some bouncing it to keep it off of the board for a while. If I Squire's Devotion here on either of these, it sets up my Sanguine Glorifier for next turn because I get the Vampire token out of the deal. And then I might end up with good double blocks on the Dust Charger at some point. But yeah, Moment of Craving still absolutely wrecks me. I don't know, I don't think I have much of a choice. I do need to put it on the slightly higher power creature, otherwise my racing situation is still pretty awful. This way at least it outpaces the flyer. Then soon I have 5 points of lifelink on the board when this grows the token. And I will keep bouncing this most likely. All the Crashing Tides. The downside of having it on this is that I can't Crashing Tide my own Stormfleet Spy and then like recast it and draw an extra card, but I still think I need to push my tempo advantage here a little bit and then hopefully find a Water Knot so that I can shut down the 3/3 completely. Yeah, the 5/5, I mean, the Dust Charger. If I do that, my board position doesn't look too bad here. And other than that, I do need to offer up like all of my creatures, put in front of it, hope it works out for a trade. Well, that's not too bad for the attempt of trading it down. Because like a bunch of 3/3s in front of a 5/5 actually leads to some pretty profitable blocks. Can even beat like one Divine Verdict or something if I put all 3 of the 3/3s in front. Sure. I'm not even certain if this is better for my opponent than putting something on top of my library. I don't think it is. Because sure, they get rid of a token, but many of these creatures I would be unhappy to draw my next turn. Like if they put Sailor of Means on top of my deck or something, that's pretty awful for me. I do get an extra treasure, but like I'm losing my draw step for that. And here they just gave me a clean draw step so I can draw something more impactful. Like my water nuts that I'm looking for. Oh boy. Oh boy. Just another card that is better than any card I have in my pool. I guess that's what I get for like 5-0ing 2 days ago with a pretty medium pool. Like I had like a weird 4-color, yeah, just a weird 4-color deck where my best card was like Jade Light Ranger, and I managed to dodge all of the unbeatable cards for 5 rounds in a row. I never saw a Profane Procession, never saw a Tetsimok, never saw a Tendershoot Ride, and today I get both of those in the first 2 rounds, so pretty swingy format. Yes, it happens. Moment of Craving is in their deck, but they didn't have it in their hand previously. So I guess I need my second Squire's Devotion. No, it doesn't even help, because I would have to put it onto the Kitesail Corsair. And then it still dies to their Moment of Craving that they just revealed to me. So that is not the solution. I guess the big upside is that my opponent cast Tendershoot Dried off of Treasurers, and now they no longer have a green source available at the moment, so I've locked them out of winning with that for quite a while. Probably want to put that on top just to buy myself 2 turns. So their hand is Moment of Craving, Tendershoot Dried, and 1 unknown, and the next turn they draw their Raid Flyer. Yeah, sure. That also means they have to make some attack here, but even throwing the Rolling token away isn't all that terrible. It does give me some life back if they attack the Rolling token into my lifelinker. Same thing here, same thing there. I guess double blocking is pretty much free so that my opponent doesn't like bounce or destroy my Stormfleet Spy, and then they get to keep their Rolling. No reason to let that happen. So now they have the 5-turn clock going again. And I have the 0-turn clock because the board is just stalled. And also when my opponent finds a green source, I'm completely screwed. No! Oh, god damn it! Ah, things are not going well today. Man. Why? I have no more answers to this in my entire deck. I mean, no, I don't even... I have 1 more bounce spell for it. So, second Dead Eye Recaller is my only out. No! We knew they didn't have that in hand the previous turn, and then their first draw step is something that makes treasures. Oh my god. That is very unfortunate. 0-2 drop for Legacy. Yeah, it's coming up soon. I still have some games to play in this matchup. My opponent's deck also looks kind of awful except for Tendershoot Dried. The rest of it looks pretty beatable. But, I mean, I just have like no win conditions. My pool really needs like 2 Soul of the Rapids or something to make this blue-white work. Oh my god. Okay, that's my other answer though. I mean, the damage might be done, especially because I'm still dying to this flyer. I mean, I might even just be dying to these 2, so. But that does answer the Tendershoot Dried for now. I still don't really have any outs, right? Because they attack me down to 1, then I need to answer 2 of their creatures, and I only have 1 draw step. Don't currently have any draw spells in my deck, though I likely have to board them back in as well. If the matchup comes down to us both having like 3 playable cards and 37 filler cards, then drawing some extra cards to find my good stuff is valuable in the matchup. Like, I should also be running Pirate's Prize and such, because it will end up with us just board stalling unplayables against each other quite frequently. And I need some mirror breaker there. Well, that is also pretty good. I mean, my opponent's mana is clearly awful, but their card quality is once again higher than mine, which is an issue. Okay, so this is coming in. Now I'm going more late game against the opponent with the better deck. It's also not great. Maybe I should just be blue-green in this matchup though. Gives me a better chance to at least come up with cards that are capable of winning the game on their own. Yeah, this white just doesn't do that much in the matchup. I'll just try casting big things and hope that those run my opponent over. Because they also seem to be kind of low on removal, just playing like 4-color big stuff with a little bit of evasion. This is not a deck that I would recommend, but it seems like a better plan for this matchup. River Daughter, Deep-Root Waters. No, I think I'll pass on those. Knight of the Stampede. Yeah, that one looks really good with Nezahal, Colossal Dreadmaw. Jungle-Born Pioneer is usually something I'm interested in, but in this matchup it also seems kind of low impact and not really like something that I want. The Crushing Tides actually do a good job of punishing the Tendershoot Dryad when they're only cast off of treasures. I have Foul Aura card to work with. Is there anything I want to splash? Not really. Like, I mean, these Dark Increase are kind of nice against my opponent's deck, and Dusk Treasures as well, but then I'm completely destabilizing my mana base for that, and like that Eye Plunderers. I don't think any of these are strong enough to justify the splash. If I had some recovers to work with or something, I might consider it. Reaver Ambush also seems kind of medium. Yeah, no, I don't think I want to make more splashes. I'm either running this or a similar deck with 17 lands. Yeah, probably 17 lands is slightly better, and like cut one of the Crashing Tides. Already kind of heavy on bounce spells. Sure. Okay, let's try this. I think I want to be on the play, but like it's kind of close. Okay, I have one 1-drop and one 2-drop in my entire deck. I was gonna comment on the fact that I have very little chance of being aggressive with such a terrible curve, but I guess if my 1-drop and my 2-drop show up in my opening hand, I can pretend like I have a real aggressive curve. Then follow it up with the beatdown card, Pirate's Prize, to really beat my opponent down. I mean, there's a chance I win if these two are in my opening hand every game. Definitely rewards me for choosing to play as well. I was kind of considering choosing to draw because both of our decks are so mediocre, and having the extra card gives me a better chance of ending up with more threats in the board stall. But yeah, here it is extremely rewarding to have chosen to play. My opponent hasn't shown me a lot of early game on their side either. Like, they need their one moment of craving, I guess, otherwise they will only start affecting the board. Okay, never mind. That is pretty much perfect for them, because it deals with my flyer on curve. That's unfortunate. Though I assume I get my draw spell back pretty quickly. I think I'm willing to attack into it because I have nothing to do for my turn 4. Then at least I get to Pirate's Prize. Man, aggressive urge would be sick here. I don't think I want it in my deck though for the matchup on average, because I'm not even trading. I think I'm likely alright with that as well. I mean, it's probably correct for them to not trade. Yeah, they might just have like Sailor of Means follow up, and then the commander speaker can no longer attack for damage, so then they're fine with just not trading. Okay. Interesting. Maybe they'll have the moment of craving as well. Nope. Very interesting. Then they might get super punished here for not trading, because this is like the best thing I can do against them, choosing to keep this on the board and not trade for this. I already got 4 extra damage in, and now I have this in my hand anyways. They can replay their freebooter, but then I'm hitting them for 5 while they trade. So huge reward here from my opponent's greed. This is looking really nice. And then I follow up with another 4/4. So it kind of feels like they're screwed here for their choice of not trading. I mean, it makes sense if they can stabilize the board without trading, then it's very rewarding in the long run to have taken this card out of my hand and still have a 1/2 flyer around. But it kind of felt like something they needed more spells for. Like, if they follow up with Sailor of Means or Moment of Craving or like Golden Demise or something, I guess Golden Demise this one dies as well, but like anything that affects the board right away without trading this off, then it was fine. But if their play was go and then go again, it's just backbreaking for them to try and keep it on the board. Yeah, I guess no, the aggressive urge is just bad. Their blockers are mostly going to be like Sailor of the Means, which completely outclass any of my attackers. I don't even have many attackers, as we see here. These were literally my only 2 cheap creatures. And Jade Bearer, my Merfolk concentration is pretty low, and this is already more expensive. Yeah, just don't have anything cheap to be attacking with. My red has some, like Tilinali's Knight, Sun-Colored, but even then my count of early creatures is still too low to enable Swaggering Corsairs all too reliably, so the red just looks like non-functional. I think I'll just try to run it back, and even if I do end up in a slightly more controlling setup, these late game dinosaurs give me some hope of overrunning my opponent. The plummet does get even better now that we know that my opponent has Kitesail Freebooter. And my deck is actually very creature heavy now that we're in blue-green. Like 7 spells, 16 creatures. I mean, creatures are also spells, but 7 non-creature spells makes it pretty possible for the Kitesail Freebooter to miss, like on this type of starting hand. Also, my 2-drop is being very loyal to me, which is very nice. Yeah, this Stormfleet Spy is actually pretty embarrassing. Maybe I should even board this out if I switch into blue-green, because 2 creatures that I can cast before it gives me a pretty low chance of triggering it. Wow. This Raptor Companion is not great against me, with multiple Sailor of Means, Stormfleet Spy. So if this Kitesail Corsair gets to attack, then it's actually laughably bad. No idea why that's still in my opponent's deck after they saw all my Sailor of Means. And also their deck looked like more better set up for the late game at least than mine. So it seems a little bit strange that that's in their deck. Also, it's kind of a splash, right? Wasn't white like their tertiary color. Okay, I guess I'll run this out because I do have so much value in my hand that trying to set this up for value seems a little bit too greedy as well. Wombo combo assembled. I guess that explains the Raptor Companion. They're trying to fly over with it for the memes. I guess I will stop that from happening. I didn't really see many other good cards that the Water Knot matches up well against. Like, their best cards were like the Champion of Dusk, which it doesn't do much against. It's a 4/4, but it gets most of this value from the comes into play effect. And Tendershoot Dried, of course, where Water Knot is also not the solution I'm looking for. Dinosaur Hunter, yeah, that one also doesn't look too great. Are they now like black-white aggressive? Looks like it. I guess Brainstorm Guy first, because it's more mana efficient. Maybe Sailor first was actually correct, because then I can block the Dinosaur Hunter without having to trade. So I think I want to hide Expel from Uraska on top of my deck so that I can answer Freebooter if they take either of the other two spells. And I think other than that it doesn't really matter, just give myself the most options next turn by having all the spells in hand. This only backfires against like Arterial Flow, because I have to discard 2 cards then, and then I need to throw 1 real spell away if I had both of the lands in my hand. But yeah, what I was trying to say is, now I have huge incentive to make this block and trade off, and then next turn I can't double block the Menace Guy. If I had let on Sailor of Means, I could block here anyways, take only 2 damage, and then next turn Sailor of Means and Brainstorm Guy combine to a double block on Voracious Vampire. I think I'm actually... am I taking the extra damage? My opponent's on 1 card in hand. Yeah, I think I'm taking the extra damage, because then I can make this double block and the Sailor just outclasses the Dinosaur Hunter. I don't have to make a trade for that. But yeah, I took 2 extra damage here by sequencing my spells in that way. It was a little bit more mana efficient, but it did backfire. What did they reveal? Sanguine Glorifier, okay. That is also something that is in the long run going to get outclassed by my Sailor. So I think I just shut this down so it can't attack me this turn. And then even if they put the counter on the Voracious Vampire, my double block is still good. With 3/6 against 3/3 basically. So I like not making this trade, even in hindsight, even if my incorrect sequencing kind of punished me by taking 2 extra damage. I think this way I have good control over the board. These. I can make an extra land drop here. It does play into my opponent's like discard 1 type effects, but it's probably better to keep another treasure on the board for being able to cast Expel. Though I guess my deck is out of draw spells, so there's nothing, like no way for me to come up with 10 mana worth of plays in a single turn. Basically there's only Nezahal and then drawing into an instant off of the Nezahal trigger. Dinosaur Hunter is doing a good job of holding off this Wayward Sawtooth though. Dinosaur Hunter in general. Maybe I should have traded for the Dinosaur Hunter actually, because it is pretty insane against my Colossal Dreadmaw plans. But yeah, holding off this Voracious Vampire was also pretty important for the time being, so... kind of awkward for me either way. Okay, I think I'll try to Crashing Tide this Brainstorm Guy. Yes. I mean, that also trades for the Dinosaur Hunter, but I guess I have to get it off of the boards at some point. Let's play that out. Yeah, I think with how little mana I can spend in this turn, I want to start holding my lands in hand, but maybe that's also incorrect. Nice. Can bounce my brainstorm guy again. This is an engine I like to see. If my pool lacks... thank you for the host, any new programs. If my pool lacks in draw spells, then I'll just keep reusing Riverwise Augur. There we go, that's how you end up with enough draw. And I guess I do have like 3 Crashing Tides and 2 Dead Eye Recallers, so whenever I draw this and it doesn't get killed, and I guess the game also has to go incredibly slowly for me to be able to afford all of this. But yeah, in this type of board position, it's just insane. Brainstorm. Yes, more bounces. Okay, so I want to put my only spell on top of my deck so that I don't get Kitesail freebooted. Other than that, it doesn't really matter how I stack these. And I think I'll continue to hold on to the land for Arterial Flow, even though I might be able to get some more cards out of my hand in the same turn if I play it. I can still make 2 land drops in a turn off of Sword Tooth, so now it's grayed out for whatever reason. Come on, Modo. Modo, please. Well, now I have a gray Sword Tooth. Modo is a quality program. This is real sweet. Brainstorm Man MVP. MVP. And dinosaurs coming in. Yes, this one can come in as well. Yeah, let's just attack with not everything, but like all 3. They still get 1 good dinosaur trait here, but I have another huge dinosaur in my hand, so I want to get this hunter off of the board regardless. What? I see. Pride of the Conquerors, I guess. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So they would eat my creature here, trade with my creature here, eat my creature here. And I can blow up one of these 2. And then they replay whatever I bounce. So I guess I would rather keep my 4/4. And I'm even removing a counter from this. So that seems pretty nice. Library. Well, that was a decent Pride of the Conquerors for them. These. Or whatever. This is a nice little engine. Okay, next turn they will just have 2 2/2s on the board, so running this out as an attacker actually has some value, because they don't really want to trade either of them for my Commander Speaker. Because, like, obviously the Dinosaur Hunter is much better and is likely going to trade with my Armasaur, and this one likely wants to trade here, so you get some extra damage that way. Don't think there's enough reason for me to attack with this, though if they do want to make these 2 trades, maybe I squeak in an extra damage. They don't even want to trade with their Vampire. That seems a little surprising to me. How much mana? 4 and 5. I guess I do have a land on top of my deck, so I can still play Dreadmore afterwards. Yes! Blue-green Jace the Mind Sculptor, best archetype. This has brainstormed every turn for 5 turns in a row, so it's actually just Jace the Mind Sculptor. No, that punishes me for playing all my bounce effects, I guess. But I still get to win here, right? I tap these 2 down and win. If you control another pirate, tap, yeah. Thank you, RTE Day. I hope I didn't wreck that name too much, but thank you for your subscription. Wow. You're a new subscriber too, right? Are you? I think so. Much appreciated. Glad you enjoyed the limited Jace the Mind Sculptor action. Yeah. Better than most, better than all. Better than all.